Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Alright, so we have a little WrestleMania 42 Saturday recap. Some things that happened last night. I was able to finish it up today. So from the preview, 4-3 on my picks. Not horrible, not great, but I saw some stuff online. I don't honestly think this show was as bad as a lot of people were saying it was. No, was it to the level of like WrestleMania 25 with Taker Shawn, or WrestleMania 10, the ladder match, or was it 14, Brett and Stone Cold, or WrestleMania 10, Owen and Brett? Was it to the level of those matches? Oh, God, no. Was it watchable? Yeah, it was enjoyable. I look at WWE right now in 2026 the same way I look at NXT currently. And what I mean by that is if you look at NXT, and you look at the NXT Black and Gold with Gargano, Andrade, Ciampa, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, that whole group, and then we have the Women's Revolution all start there. Those NXT takeovers were just a bomb.com. The fall from the NXT takeovers of that era to today's takeovers, to me, is the same fall that WWE main rosters had, like with WrestleMania. So this card was on par with what NXT has been doing compared to NXT TakeOver. So you think WrestleMania 8, 10, 12 years ago, and back in WrestleMania 10 through 30, those WrestleManias compared to this one is the same kind of fall to me. So the first match, we had a 6-man tag. We had LA Knight teaming up with the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso taking on The Vision, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and IShowSpeed. Now, this match was okay. When I did my preview, I pictured the end of the match with IShowSpeed celebrating with the crowd. But with The Vision, because IShowSpeed, kind of that, you get that name, you get this match was on ESPN. I'm like, okay, there's I didn't know who the guy was, to be honest with you. But there's a certain piece of the population knows who this guy is. He's a celebrity, like all the celebrities around. We had Kittle, slamming beers. We had basketball players, football, we had all kinds of celebrities there. Well, the fact that IShowSpeed ended up knocking Logan Paul off the side of the ring, and so then the Vision kind of turned on him, and then Paul puts it. Then IShowSpeed ends up helping with the help of the Usos, putting Logan Paul through the announce table, and it's like, IShowSpeed then is celebrating with the Usos and LA Knight. I'm like, I didn't see that coming, that little twist turn thing. But LA Knight, the Usos got the victory. It was a 7-minute, 8-second match. None of these matches were long. For a 3.5-hour show, the longest match was the main event at 22:44. The second longest was Gunther and Seth Rollins at 17:52. I don't know in this era if we need 2 nights of WrestleMania. Do we need 14 matches on one card? No, we do not. But we don't need the fluff. We just need solid matches. Maybe a 9-match card at WrestleMania. Have 4 to 5 title matches, maybe 6 title matches, and 3 other matches. And then have your kind of marquee matchup like we used to have the Undertaker all those years. But I give the match 2 3/4 with LA Knight and the Usos getting the victory. Next up, we had the Unsanctioned Match on ESPN. I would not have put this match on ESPN. And this was, if I was going to pick a match in this card to have blood in, it would not have been the main event. It would have been this match here. I understand WWE doesn't like a lot of blood. I get that. PG, G-rated stuff. I completely get that. I understand that. That is WWE. That's fine. But you're going to pick one match you're going to do blood in. To me, it was not going to be the main event. I don't think that Rhodes Orton angle has gotten completely to the blood, the blood feud kind of match yet. Now, if they would have had a match after this match, especially what happened at the end, maybe at the end you had Randy bloody Cody up when the match is over, do the curb stomp, and then you have a kind of a match is this kind of the, blood match kind of deal, then that would make sense. To me, this didn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, This would have been the match I would have done that. Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. But to have this match on ESPN for the first time ever, I did not agree with it. Because you had a few weapons being used. You didn't have it as that just unsanctioned, like no rules, no one can stop them match. You had a pretty decent match, I thought. 14 minutes and 9 seconds. I give it a 3.5 stars. So I thought it was a good match. It was one of the better matches of the card. But this would be the match that you should have had the blood on because it was unsanctioned. But Jacob Fatu getting the victory over Drew McIntyre. So, you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that hour on ESPN was able to gain that many more viewers on ESPN Plus, that a lot of people would turned over there to watch it. That would have been excellent for WWE, excellent for the pro wrestling business. Do I think that truly happened? I don't know. But we'll find out when ratings come out and stuff. Next up, we had WWE Women's Tag Titles on the line in a Fatal 4-Way match. We had Charlotte Flair and Bayley taking on Lyra, Vaquer, and Bayley versus the champions, the Irresistible Force / Legend, Nia Jax. And then what we thought was going to be the Bella Twins, Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. We found out earlier in the week, which it was online, which I love how WWE didn't acknowledge any of that. But Nikki Bella obviously wasn't able to get cleared due to an injury for this match, came out on a crutch. Just nonchalantly, we have a fill-in, and Paige comes out. We all kind of knew Paige's. I love how Michael Cole goes, nobody ever figured Paige would come back. But, yeah, we all knew it ahead of time, peeps. Check out my preview, and I even said it. I literally called this match my preview, which is cool and all, but, I'm fine with Paige to get back. I think it's great that she's back. I just find it funny how two wrestlers who were gone for almost a decade from WWE went to AEW before coming to WWE. Interesting how that works out. But you know what? That's cool. She's back. She was a very talented wrestler, one of the best. Back in that Revolution era with Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha and all them came up. Paige was right there with because the next flow and oh yeah, she was awesome in the ring. Won the women's title her first night in WWE, which was great. This match to me was okay. It wasn't spectacular by no means. I gave it 3 stars. 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Just like I said in the preview, Brie Bella and Paige, your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, the fact that Paige ended up pinning Alexa Bliss, I thought she was going to pin Lyra Vaquer personally, but that's cool that she was able to do that. The champions did not get pinned, so I'm assuming Backlash, possibly the Irresistible Force, will get another title match, and then we'll go from there. I don't know when Nikki is healthy, if they're going to do that Freebird rule with Paige, Nikki, and Brie, or Paige and Brie will end up dropping it back to Irresistible Force, or to Bayley and Vaquer, Lyra Vaquer, and then the Bella Twins win it officially. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But for now, Brie Bella and Paige, the return of Paige as the new WWE Women's Champions. Next up, we had WWE Women's Intercontinental title on the line. We had champion AJ Lee taking on Becky Lynch. There was a lot of just fluster with the referee and whatnot. There was a lot of kind of side stuff there with Jessica Carr. I could have done without it, but that's been the storyline. And then Becky Lynch ended up getting the victory here. 8 minutes and 15 seconds. I ended up giving it 2 3/4 stars. Again, it was one of those matches where it had some good parts to it, but overall it was like, okay, this is a match. Nothing spectacular, nothing horrible, just a match. But Becky Lynch getting her WWE Women's Intercontinental title back. Now, we'll see where this ends up going, because this title has been almost like flipping like a piece of candy. Because Becky has now had it 3 times out of 6. So Lyra Vaquer had it first, had it 145 days. Then Becky had it 163 days. And then on Raw, we had the accidental pin, which literally was all online. It was completely accidental with Maxine Dupree winning the title. And she held it 49 days. Becky 54. AJ Lee 49. Ironic. So does that mean in 54 days Becky loses it? I don't know how they're gonna what the plan is there, but it's like bang back and forth. I do eventually would see something with AJ and Punk versus Seth and Becky. I think we're going to get something with that. I actually would like to see that for the AAA mixed titles. You could definitely do something there, I think. But next up, we had Gunther versus Seth Rollins. I mean, a lot of this. The way this match started off, it's like, okay, you know what? Seth's probably going to beat him. Okay, I can get behind that. Not a big deal. And then you had the stuff with the announce table, and you had Braun coming out, and then you had Braun spearing Seth, and then Gunther choking out. Or you had Seth choking out Gunther, and Gunther got his foot on the rope, and then the whole thing with Braun coming out. I'm like, so if Braun was healthy enough to come out and do that, why wasn't he healthy enough to be in a match? Because that was the original idea, I thought. This match lasted 17 minutes and 52 seconds. Gunther ended up getting the victory by referee's decision and submission. I believe it was submission. And just the spear, and then putting him through the announce table, and then Rollins pedigree and Gunther through the announce table, and then the spear by Braun, throwing him back in the ring, and then at the end when freaking Braun runs down the entire length of the ramp and spears him, and when he did it, he kind of went off to the side a little bit because he barely caught it. It wasn't one of those full-on spears. There's several spots in this show where you saw like they were kind of like that spear was kind of off to the side a little bit, and he had kind of grab his arm, kind of clothesline him. Just like when Alexa came off the top rope right before the pin, and she wanted to do whatever her finishing move because off the top rope, and Paige got her legs up. If you watch that spot, Alexa is over because Paige is laying here. Alexa comes down over here. Alexa didn't come down over here. She came down over here. Either that or Paige moved, but it looked like she came out of an angle, like setting up that spot. But Gunther ended up getting the victory. I actually said that in the preview. I thought he would. Obviously, retiring Goldberg, retiring AJ Styles, and John Cena. How do you have Gunther lose at this point? I ended up giving it 3.5. I actually enjoyed it. I gave Drew and Jacob 3.5 as well. I think this 3.5 is probably just a little bit above it. So best match of the card of the night would have been Gunther and Seth, and then second best match, Fatu and Drew McIntyre. Next up, we have the semi-main event, the WWE Women's World Title Line champion Stephanie Vaquer taking on Liv Morgan. It was okay to start out with. Stephanie Vaquer is so technically sound in the ring. She did a top rope jump to the outside that was pretty sick, and she's submission based, but for whatever reason she just can't get over with WWE fans. And I've noticed that a lot. The reaction people give to her is like ho hum. It's not like, oh my god, she's a great wrestler, which she is. Liv had obviously the Judgment Day come out. You had Roxanne Perez on one side, you had Raquel Rodriguez on the other side, and you had Roxanne get the referee's attention. Rochelle takes out Steph Vaquer. Liv goes for the pin, doesn't get the pin, and everybody's like, oh, what just happened? And then she just had little spots like that, and then you end up having Liv Morgan get the victory. 6 minutes, 51 seconds. I'm getting the match. I ended up giving it 3.25. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was pretty decent because Stephanie Vaquer is so good in the ring. I think she's able to kind of carry that a little bit. I wish it would have been a little longer, but I enjoyed the match. Then we had a little segment with John Cena, who's the host of WrestleMania, and then Bianca Belair comes out, and as soon as she came out, I could tell she was pregnant. Just the way she was wearing that blue thing, the feather thing, I just assumed, and then she's pregnant. And it's cool, congratulations, and her and Montez Ford. But she's been out for a year plus, so she's gonna be on another year at least. I don't know if she's coming back. We'll see, but she's one of the better ones during her era. But good for her. Then we went on to the main event. the Undisputed WWE Championship on the line. Champion Cody Rhodes taking on the Viper Randy Orton. Stipulation on this match was if Randy Orton loses, we would never, ever, ever see Pat McAfee in professional wrestling again. This match started off just clustery, just clunky, clustery, because everybody comes out, and then you have Randy and Pat McAfee try to cheap shot Cody, pat him with the microphone or something. And then you had freaking Cody take Pat McAfee out, literally puts him through the announce table or attacks him on the outside. And then you had Jelly Roll come out and elbow drop to the announce table. Then they have to bring the stretcher out and cart him off. The whole time you got Randy and Cody sitting there like this. But one thing I noticed was you had Randy like this a lot. And they zoomed in on him, and he was kind of pushing his thumb into his arm like he had an issue with his bicep. They were talking about on the feed, they were talking about him, the rumor is he's got back issues. I'm like, what? Okay, he's rubbing his arm like he hurt his arm. So once they cleared the whole thing with Pat McAfee and get him out of there, you start the match, and you could tell Randy was hurting a little bit. He did a couple things. He did that top rope back body drop thing. When he hit, you could see when he set up like, oh God, that hurt. So you could see he had something going on there. This match, it was clunky. Then it had some cool spots. When they were hitting each other's finishers, that was kind of cool because you knew they weren't getting the pin off of them. And then it's like when Pat comes in and then Randy ends up RKO and Charles Robinson, that was kind of funny as hell. Little Nate took an RKO. When Randy took it, it kind of looked when Cody hit it on Randy, it looked pretty legit. Just like when Randy hit the crossroads on Cody, it looked pretty legit. And when Charles Robinson took and then you got Pat McAfee and a ref spirit and a collar to run it down. It's like, okay, this is good. I was fully expect fast count, Randy win. When he counts, and it wasn't a fast count, it's kind of a slow count, to be honest with you. And then Randy ends up RKOing him. I'm like, what the hell has just happened? And then obviously Cody, boom, crossroads, 1, 2, 3, done. Cody Rhodes, still your WWE Undisputed Champion. I gave it 3-star. And then Randy punts him at the end. I'm like, or curb stomp. I'm like, this is weird. Then there was this blood. It's like Randy bled first and then Cody was bleeding. I'm like, this is not the match I would put blood on. To me, this wasn't a blood feud yet. Now, if they would have done this match again at Backlash or again next year, then I would agree with that. But I'm like, if you're going to have a match with blood on it, like I said earlier, do the unsanctioned match. But it's like, that kind of is like, okay, why are they bleeding? There's no point for them to be bleeding here. But I guess Jelly Roll was part of it, and I thought he was supposed to have a match tonight, I think. I can't remember what tonight's card is. I know it's started already. I'm going to have to go watch it later. I'll probably do the recap tomorrow on it, thinking. Let's try to find it. The card here, Sunday's card. So tonight's card is Brock and Oba, and then the 6-pack ladder match, Intercontinental title, that's on ESPN2. Then the U.S. title. Yeah, Zayn and Trick. I swore they were going to do something with Jelly Roll in the match, but I guess not. I guess they took it off. Jade and Rhea, Finn and Dom, and yeah. Alright, so I don't think it's going to be too bad of a card. I think the Brock and Oba family is going to suck. Ladder match is going to be hopefully awesome. Cargill and Ripley could be halfway decent. Finn and Dom will be in. Roman and Punk should be good. So yeah, so I'll have to stay tuned for that. But yeah, so that is WWE WrestleMania 42 Saturday recap. Stay tuned to our sports show. We'll get some of the indie stuff up. Haven't watched that much of it yet. And then I know GCW, the Just Barnett announced Bloodsport's going on hiatus. I'm assuming because WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia next year, which we don't have a date for yet. I thought that was kind of key because last year at this time they announced WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans, logo out and everything. Then they went, nope. So I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing with Saudi, but you know what, hey, we'll see what happens. But we know Bloodsport is going to hiatus. I'll have the recap of Bloodsport 15, and then I'll have a best of Bloodsport, all 17 of them, coming up later on. But all right, WWE WrestleMania 42, Saturday, attendance 50,816. That is 10,000 less than last year in the same stadium. Take that for what you want. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Catch it all right here on Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports content.